Welcome on back, faithful, and a happy St. Patty's Day to you. We are finally, after months and months and months of promising, we are getting down to the helmet. I do apologize that it has taken me quite this long to finally get down to this build, but we're finally doing it. We are finally going to be doing our helmet, and we're going to be doing this helmet probably over the course of the next 2 to maybe 3 weeks. I plan to have at least 2 videos up this week, and possibly the final 3 videos on it for next week. We will be doing a tutorial on how to cut down your visor using a Dremel, but that will be at a later date, being as I need to get a new visor, actually, to set inside this. So this is what you can expect to build if you follow this video along to the T. This is the Halo 4 Mark 6 Spartan helmet, okay? Now you don't have to paint it green and black as I did. I went with the traditional colors that Master Chief wears inside that game. If you can see right there up on the helmet there, I've actually done some vinyl for that hexagonal pattern that is on his helmet. We can go over that a little bit later as well. But in the meantime, let's start off first with what pieces you're going to need. If this is your first time building anything off of one of my tutorial videos, I'm going to say stop right now and go to either the bicep build or the shoulder build, because those are what you're going to want to start with first. If you've never worked with EVA Foam before, that's where you're going to want to actually pick up the hammer and start to forge your suit of armor. If you've worked with EVA Foam before, then by all means, go with the helmet right off the bat. For this one here, if you go inside the comment section below this video, you're going to find a Dropbox link. There is also a link to Pretzel's Locker, where you can find all of the armor pieces that I use, as well as a ton of other different armor variants on there as well that are all foam files. If you go onto the 405th link, you'll find a lot of peppercorn files. You'll also find foam files, so they're kind of mixed in between there. You'll have to decipher through that, figure out which one's which. But if you go to the Dropbox specifically, that is all the files I used for this exact build. Okay. So that being said, I'm going to talk about a few of the pieces that you're going to need for this. We are going to be building, actually for this helmet today, we're going to be building this top section. So all of this here, this little wraparound section here, and then the under part right there. So all of what you see right here, all this top is what we're doing today. Okay, first off, this piece here, you're going to have this, it looks like a weird V kind of a shape here, this one there. This entire piece, you'll end up printing it probably on 2 sheets of cardstock, tape it together at the seams. When you cut this out, draw a line. You'll see this kind of circular piece right there at the back there. Draw a line from this point here to that point there, and actually slightly curve it just a little bit. Save that piece, okay? You'll end up needing it for later in the build, so you'll have a piece that looks just like this here, okay? Just like that. So that is the first piece there. You want to hit. Next piece is, you're going to have this little side piece here. We're going to end up doing 2 of these pieces here. It's got a small window there that you're going to cut out. You'll probably end up using an X-Acto blade to cut that piece out there. When you cut the entirety of this shape out, you can notice on the inside of this helmet here, there is a slight recess, and then an even more slight recess. So that piece gets cut in half. I do it right where that window stops. So where you see that little window stop there, I went to just over 1/8 of an inch back, cut that entire thing in 2 pieces. So when you have it, it's going to look like this here. Okay? You'll have 2 separate little pieces. One will be slightly in front of the other, just like that. Okay. So that is the next piece I wanted to hit on. The final piece, you're going to have a shape like this, okay? The piece itself, you do not want to cut that half circle out, okay? What I'm going to say though is cut the entire thing out and trace that entire shape onto this piece here, okay? So trace the entirety of that, just don't cut the half circle. Save that half circle piece and put it actually back inside there after you've traced, because you want to have that half circle marked on there. So mark the half circle, put this piece back inside here, and then trace a line across here, cut the entire shape out, because this half circle, you're later going to want this so that you can put it onto a foamy sheet. This is a 1/16 of an inch piece of EVA foam right there. You're going to want that so you can put it onto a foamy sheet so you can get the side details on your helmet. You can see this little raised section here with these 2 little holes that are right in here. You want the foamy for that piece there, but you don't want to have to deal with another piece, you've got to reset back inside there and then put the foaming on top. Just make sure it's all one piece. Okay, so those are all the pieces we're going to be working with. Well, not all the pieces, but most of them. Every other piece for this top portion of the helmet is going to be pretty much straightforward, and I will tell you what we're going to do with them. Okay, for this build, we're going to do 2 different kinds of cuts. I know I've done them before in other videos, but I'm going to do them right now. So if you ever hear me refer to a V cut or a trench cut, what I'm talking about is cutting this piece of EVA foam in a V shape so that it can be folded and adhered to itself at a right angle. So I'm talking about a 90-degree angle. And to do that, usually what I do is I will mark on the foam right here. I'll mark a line. Come back inside here with my, my box cutter, and I will cut 1/8 of an inch past that line, and I'll cut at a 45-degree angle in. So we're gonna pull back real easily. You'll probably go 1 to 2, maybe 3 passes through it. Same thing on the other side. You're gonna go about 1/8 of an inch pass, so you'll have about a 1/4 of an inch gap here. Sometimes you'll have a little bit bigger of a gap, so it may be about 3/8 of an inch. It just depends. Okay, so there is a V cut or a trench cut. Now what I'll do is we're working with Loctite 5-second professional super glue. This is the best possible stuff that I'm going to tell you can use to work with on EVA foam. It bonds on a molecular level with your foam, and in 5 seconds you can just let it go. But when we put it on, you're going to do a small bead like this here. Tiny little bead, because a little bit goes a long way. Okay? You're going to hold and fold. You want that glue to bubble out inside that crease. I don't know if you can see that, but you want that glue to bubble out. Cut yourself a few little pieces, just scrap pieces of EVA foam that you can use to smooth in that glue. And in smoothing in that glue, what it does is it blends the glue on both sides of the pieces, so it marries them together, so it makes it hold a whole lot better. And so we get the piece to hold at an angle. That is our trench cut or V cut. The second cut we're going to do is going to be called, we're going to call it an edge cut or a trim cut. Now this is where you have 2 pieces that are going to come together like this and then hook down also at a right angle. But we're not doing a V channel on this. So what you're going to do is you're going to cut 2 pieces. You're going to cut into the edge of this piece here at a 45-degree angle. You'll probably do 1, 2, maybe 3 pulls of this straight through. Take that little section out there, okay? Just like that. You can see on this piece here, it's got an angle to it now, that angle right there. So say you had to attach it to another piece, say this one had been cut, it would go nice and flush and boom, you'd have a really beautiful seam. So those are the 2 cuts, edge cuts or trim cut, and trench cut or V cut, if you hear me say either one of those. Okay, now for this build here, I have pre-cut all my pieces already. So I've done one side of this helmet already to see what we're gonna be coming up with here. You can see that's the one piece I already showed you with that little half round section there and that little window piece here. We're gonna go ahead and do the other one, and then we're gonna set it aside and finish up the entire top. Okay, this is what we're gonna do right now. A little more liquid courage. Happy St. Patty's Day. Okay. So we're going to take our piece, this shape here. Again, check the drop box to find the specific files for this build here. I have scaled this helmet down by 10% because when I built the original one, it was humongous. I looked like Darth Helmet from Spaceballs. So scale it down 10%. If you're a larger person like me, I'm 6'2" and 3/4. If you're smaller like my wife, you may need to scale it down an additional 10%. But then again, you may have to play with it. So it just depends on how big your head is. So this one is scaled down 10%. So this piece here, the entirety of this shape is left just as is, save for this part here and that part there. You can see I've edge cut this here. So that is a 45-degree edge cut all the way back on this section and that section. Leave this entire middle alone. Okay. First thing we want to do with this shape here, we're going to heat gun it. We're going to heat gun this back section here, the forward section, and then we're coming back to the middle. When I heat this back section here, I'm going to curve in this way, and then I'm going to fold in like that at the same time. So we want kind of a rounded dome pulling into this back corner. Now this is a Wagner heat gun, picked up over at Home Depot or at Lowe's for about 25 bucks. You see what I'm doing here? I am pushing in with my thumbs from behind, pulling my fingers over the top here, and I am pulling in with my hands. So we're rounding this whole shape out. If you need to use the table to do so, then do that. Make sure we get a domey looking shape to this entire back here. And heating up this EVA foam, we are altering its molecular structure, and we are readjusting this foam so that when it cools, it will hold to the exact shape that we've got it in right now. I'm gonna tell you right now though, this foam is gonna wanna fight you. So bend it farther than what you think you're gonna need, because it is gonna try and flex itself back out to its original shape. So you have to fight it a little bit, okay? Just make sure you're pushing from the inside with your thumbs to really get that dome shape there. And we heat it from the back, because if we heat it from the front, you're gonna see fingerprints show up on the outside here, which we don't want. So do as I am showing you here. You see it right there? That is about perfect dome shape that we want, just like that. Nice and easy, gentle slope, okay? Now we're gonna go to the front. This I'm gonna heat again from the back side, but I'm going to press in and twist. So the shape is going to go like that, okay? Still gonna follow this gentle curve around, but it's going to twist just slightly, and that is why we have that cut there. Here we go. Grabbing it, and I'm going to twist. You see that there? I'll hold it from the side here so you can see it a little better. I'm going to twist and just pull. Very gently. I want it to be kind of flat on this edge over here, but I'm twisting the entire shape and still pushing from behind just a little bit, okay? So the shape is going to be more like this here. Okay, now I noticed, you probably noticed that I grabbed this foam right away after I heated it up. Just be careful. I used to work in a garage working on engines quite a bit, so my hands are tempered to heat. You may not be able to grab this stuff when it's fresh off the oven, as I just did, so just be careful. I would hate for you to burn yourself. Something also to note when working with Loctite super glue, you're going to get it on your fingers, okay? It is unavoidable. Believe me, I have tried to avoid getting this on my hands. It's going to happen. Dawn or Pledge really gets it out pretty good. If you just get some dish soap, really scrub hard, you'll get it off pretty easily. But just a hazard of working with the material. Okay, so there's our dome in the back there. There's our bench in the front. Now we're just going to heat up the middle section here, and all we're going to do is we're going to pinch this in a little bit so it follows that same dome from the back there. So here we go. Okay, and that is probably good. All right. And you see I'm doing this here? I'm just pinching in from the top. I'm still pulling the shape down and around because a lot of times that heat will disperse across the back there and it may loosen up what we've already done. We don't want that loosened up. So do how I'm doing this here and almost making a horseshoe out of it, but pinching in the same time to make that little balloony, domey shape out the side there. Now we just press in like this here. And you just got to hold it probably about 30 seconds at the max, and that will hold the shape. Getting back to working with Loctite, the reason I do so is because it goes very fast. Now, I've built a full suit of armor before using just hot glue. Hot glue is amazing. It holds incredibly well. Only thing is you have to wait for it to cool down, which takes a lot of time. Doing with Loctite super glue, it goes a lot faster. Now, that's not to say I do go back inside my shape and every single seam I will reinforce with hot glue, but the entirety of the shape is already done, so I can just go back through and blast it really fast and get every single seam totally reinforced. But I'm not sitting there for 3 hours blowing on it waiting for it to finally dry. So to that end, you're going to want to use a hot glue gun that has a low heat setting. Right now this is a dual one. It's got a high and a low. Use the low heat setting because if you use the high, it's going to stay viscous way too long and it's going to take a lot longer to dry. Okay, so there we have that whole shape looking very similar to this side here. Okay. Now, when I put this piece inside here, it's going to straighten this out a little bit more, which is totally fine. We're just really concerned with having that back dome there, and then the slight roundness right here. Okay. So, as I said, this is the detail piece here. You don't have to add this. I love adding my details in. So I cut this out of a 16th inch sheet of foamy. You can find them inside a link inside my comment section of this video, which means the info section. To Michael's, they come in, I think, 18 inch by 14 inch panels. So you can get a lot out of one sheet, or else you can go to Walmart and get a whole pack of foamies. But I've already marked off before, since we did our trace on there. We know right where it's going. So we're gonna put that on right now. And with Loctite, when I'm doing foamies, I will do the entirety of the shape. So let's go the entire border. A very, very small bead. You do not need a lot of Loctite. This stuff goes so quick. If you use too much, it will actually melt your foam, and you will see smoke start to rise. And that is not good to inhale those fumes. But you can see right here, I'm just gently pressing it right on in to that little line that we've already foredone. And if it bubbles out the edge, that's perfect. We want it to bubble. That's where we take our little smoother pieces that we've done, just a little scrap piece of EVA foam, and smooth that in, just like that. Add strength and gets rid of all the excess glue. And the added bonus is we have a beautiful seam now. There's no hot glue bubbled along that edge that we have to take care of. It's totally perfect. Okay, so there we are. Set that aside. These two pieces here now. Now, we remember from the beginning of the video, that was originally one piece, okay? This here is a window. Now that I just cut out with an X-Acto blade, so real simple. Just follow along your lines, press in there, make sure you don't go too far past so you don't end up cutting clear through the shape. Take this piece out for now and set it to the side, okay? We've cut this into two pieces. Now, what's gonna happen with this here is this piece is going to be the back part of it. It's going to be slightly higher, so you're gonna have this recessed look to it. So before anything, we want to heat both of these up and just give them a little bit of a bend in. So both sides slightly bend so it follows that helmet. There we are, and real gently. You're going to press in. Now it's going to be hot, just like I said before. It's very hot on my hands right now, but I'm used to the heat, so it doesn't really burn. But so you're aware, I do not want you burning yourself, so please be careful, okay? We want just a gentle curve, just like that here, okay? Just like this. And again, you're pulling a little farther than you need because this shape will open up a little bit and it will fight you. So that's why we go a little bit farther. And let's see here. Boom. Just like that. That's what we want. Same thing on this side now. All right. Again. Gentle bend. Here we are. And the foam that I'm working with right now, this is a 1/2 inch thick. This is 1/2 inch thick. It's got kind of a carbon fiber texture on the back of it. Or I guess that would be the top of it if you were looking to use this for a gym or a nursery. But a 1/2 inch thick here, so you may need more heat than what you're used to applying. The stuff I was using before was 3/8 of an inch thick, and that had this hexagonal pattern on it, very much like the bed of a truck. If you're looking at a toolbox in a truck, how it kind of has those little notched X pattern going across there. Okay, so there's our shape here. And we are going to, as I said before, we're going to set this down, this piece here, about halfway down on this shape here. So we'll hit it actually just under 1/2 inch down. We're going to go a little more than 1/8 of an inch down that whole shape and give it kind of a step up. Before we do that though, take our little piece that we pulled out for the window. We're going to come in from the back here, reset that back inside. We want that, I mean, this just depends on you. I go about half of the way through the shape for this thing here. Set that piece back inside there, pinch it together. Then with your glue from the back, just a little bit of glue on all the edges there. A little bit. Grab one of your smoother pieces here. I usually cut about 6 or 7, maybe 8 of these things, leave them on my side because you'll get about 2 pieces done and then this thing will be done. You've got to toss it, so having a bunch of these on hand is good. So we'll smooth that glue inside there, get that to hold right in place there. So our window is done here. And then, as I said, this piece is going to be above this one here. So we're going to put the glue on the piece that's lower. So go right along this top edge here. Just like this. Little bead. Grab this shape. And we're going to go just past 1/8 of an inch. And you may have to kind of curl the piece in there. You can see how I'm doing it right there, just like that. And you can see that glue bubbling on the edge. So what I say to do is tip this piece, kind of bend it out a little bit so it's really digging into that edge. Then take one of your smoother pieces here and smooth that glue in along that edge to marry those 2 pieces together. You're welding these 2 pieces together essentially. And then after you've merged that glue, now it's all one nice piece. So we have that little gentle step down. Okay, now we're going back to this shape here. We've got our piece cut. Now you're going to notice here, it's not going to quite fit that shape anymore. This is where we get to fight with our EVA foam. We get to force it to do what we want it to do. Nice thing is, this stuff stretches. So what we're going to do first is make sure we hit this front angle here and that side angle there. This again is going to go about 1/8 of an inch down inside this piece here. If you see on this helmet, it is recessed into here. The entirety, even this upper piece here, has a little bit of a hangover there. We want that little recess because it adds really cool, dramatic shadows and just looks so cool. So to do so, we're going to hit this piece here, that edge, and then we're going to set the front first right to that little corner edge there and then jam it straight into this corner here. Press and hold. So there we are. And if you guys haven't seen it yet, be sure and check out one of my previous videos. We're still doing a giveaway of a couple of Spartan knives from Halo 5. There are instructions inside the video on what to do to be entered to win one of those knives, so be sure and check it out. Okay, so press it in there like that. The glue bubbled on out, which I want, so run this along that edge, smooth that glue in there. Just like that. Boom, there it is. So we got a step in. Now because that is stepped down slightly further than this one here, what I'm going to say to do now is instead of walking this shape all the way down to that corner, we're doing just this back edge, and we're going to jam that back edge into this piece here so we make this whole thing fit. So again, putting glue on this piece here. Go right on this upper edge, just like that. Pull it down about 1/8 of an inch past that shape, and stick it and hold it. So there we are, right in there. And really smooth it on in. And you can see now how it's kind of pushing itself out. So what we're going to do now is we're going to pull this shape down. We're going with this front section here, that little window first. Make sure that's 1/8 of an inch down because this section is lower than that there. And it'll be totally fine if it's a little bit deeper on this inner piece there. So, again, putting glue on the piece that is fitting in, right on that edge. Little bead of glue. Okay, pull it off to the side. And forgive me for a second if I pull this out of your view. Just making sure I hit this right. And blammo, just like that. Pressing that shape right on in. Okay. And if you have to hold it, get back in there with your smoother piece and smooth all that glue into the edge. Press that glue in. And just feather it along there. And All right, there we are. Boom. Now just a little bit here on the bottom. Now what I'm going to suggest to do right now is set the piece where you want it. So push it up right where you need it to sit. Once you have it where you need it to be, hold it in place and just run the glue on top of the shape. A few little dots inside there. Go back through with that little smoother piece that we've been using and just push it into that crease and it will hold just fine. Now I'm not going to, because I want this video to go quicker, so for the sake of time I'm not going to do this, but what you'll want to do at this point now is go back through with your hot glue gun and you're going to want to reinforce every single one of these seams, even that little window. Reinforce every single seam, that way you know it's not going anywhere. The beauty of this helmet is it's an open shape. It's not like doing one of the biceps where eventually it kind of closes itself off. It's open so you still can get up inside there with the hot glue gun and reinforce everything. So do it as you're going along, okay? So if you have to pause the video, reinforce that shape. Okay, so both sides are now done. You can see they've got a very similar look now, okay? Set those off to the side. Now we're gonna take this piece here. This piece is gonna be real easy. We're gonna heat this entire shape up and we are going to bend it. So the way that the helmet is it has a big slope and then kind of a press up, like a motorcycle helmet. So it goes over and then kind of slopes on up and in. So we're gonna go for that same shape. So we're gonna heat this up, press down like this. At the same time, you're pushing up with your hand from the back side and pulling it. So we're gonna hold the shape very much like this here. And we're going to pinch just slightly in on the back. So it's gonna look like this. So let's heat this bad boy up. Should be good. And here we go. So grab the whole thing, press down with your hand right here, and push up like this here. Now again, we're gonna go further than we want. So as I said, pinch in a little bit from the back here so it's slightly rounded. We want to really maximize the tension in this shape. This is one of those shapes that, as I've said before in other videos, has a lot of kinetic tension inside of it, where the pieces are being held in a certain way where you can kind of just feel the rigidity of them. This is one of those pieces. So we press up, we hold, just like that. And that should be pretty much good for that. Let's see here, see how we're looking. Okay, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Excellent. That is right about the hole that we want. I may go back through here just a little bit more and pull this one down a little bit further because this side needs a little bit more, so I'm just going to do that real quick. Want that really pulled in here. I'm going to pinch this in just a little bit. Okay. The whole shape up. And now, you don't have to do this like I'm doing right now, but doing this will actually help ease off some of the tension of the piece of foam itself. If you leave it totally straight without doing any kind of heat treating to it, it is going to fight you really badly. So doing this here helps to take away some of its resolve and gets it to loosen up. So we're going to do that same thing on this side here because I like the way that looks. Same thing on this side here. We're bending in. Just bring it next to it if you need to figure out where you were. Bend it in. Just keep that dominess to it that you had before. Really pressing that shape out. See how I'm kind of pulling it back here, almost like I'm pulling taffy here. Get that same arch inside there. And Bam. Nice. That looks good. Okay. So now, set this off to the side here. What we're going to do now is we're going to grab these few pieces here. You have, this is the back of the helmet. This is going to be the front of the helmet. And then you have these two smaller sections that go in the middle here. Okay. So we're going to take this back one first now. We're going to heat it up and we're going to bend it down as well as pinch it in a little bit. But we're going to cut these two little wings off there first, okay? And I'll show you why in just a second. So, your box cutter, try and get this in one solid shot. Get it started and cut it right off. Same on this side here. Boom, okay. Save these. Now for this piece here, as I said, we're going to heat it up and we're going to bend it. Really bend it good and push in with your thumb so it has a slight dome shape to it. And if you don't know where to find EVA foam, here we go, we're gonna bend this down. Most often I will buy mine on eBay, but you can also find it at hardware stores. Home Depot, Lowe's has it. I bought this pack at Lowe's for 20 bucks. It was 4 sheets. You can get a better deal on eBay, but it just depends on what kind of hurry you're in. Okay, you see I'm pushing in with my thumbs from the back here, really bend it and really fold it in. Okay, we want a good dome shape on this here. And a good arcing curve to it. So pressing in, should yield a pretty great shape here. Okay, and let's see how we're looking here. Let's see here. Perfect. Okay, that is just about the perfect curve that we want there. So what we're going to do now is we are going to attach this. We're going to go at, you know what? Let's see. Do I want to attach it yet? You know what? We're not going to attach it yet. We're going to wait till we have more of these little pieces done here first. Okay, these two are going to be the same exact thing, only we're only going to follow this side curve here. So we're just going to heat them up and bend them just gently. Both these pieces here. So set that off to the side there for us. Alright, here we go, gentle curve to it. And as I said, you want to pull a little bit further past what you think you will need. Get your thumbs in there if you need to, and just be aware it's going to be hot, okay? If you're working with a heat gun, this is going to be very, very hot, so please do not burn yourself, because what I'm holding on right now is very, very hot. It really is. It's almost burning my thumbs, but again, I've been tempered to it from working with hot exhaust manifolds and such, so it doesn't burn me as bad. So please be careful. Okay, little rounded shape just like that. Set this off to the side, coming back to it. This one here, same thing. And if this is your first time ever trying to build a suit of armor and you haven't figured it out by now, EVA foam goes really, really quickly, which is why I love it. Now you can build plenty of suits of Halo armor. There's a lot of people out there that still love doing the peppercorn builds. My very first one was done as a peppercorn build. Only thing with that is it takes a lot of time. It took me over a year to make my first suit of Halo armor. I put a lot of time to that. Now, you juxtapose that against how much time it took me to make my very first EVA foam suit of Halo armor. You put up against a year, up against 11 days. Okay, so I made a whole suit of EVA foam Spartan armor in 11 days versus a year. Over a year, about a year and 2 months. So, pick your poison. Okay. These pieces all done. Now we have this front piece here, okay? These ones here, I didn't mention it before, but there is no trimming done on any of these edges except for taking those two little wings off, which I already showed you. That's it. Nothing with these two pieces here. The front of the helmet, though, only thing you want to do is do an edge cut in here. So that's that 45-degree angle cut right through there. Now I'm going to heat this up. When I heat it up, I'm going to press down, I'm going to pull up, and I'm going to round this back half of the shape here at the same time. So this back half will be rounded, this front part will be flat, but it's going to be stepped up and pulled. That should be enough. Okay, now we're going to push down here halfway, about halfway on the shape, and pull up. At the same time, we're going to bend this down. So, if I can get this in my thumb back behind here. Really, really pull this shape. You've got to really fight this one. I'm actually going to torque this whole thing a little bit here. Really, really manhandle this shape here. And again, you're bending it just about halfway. So pushing up, really, really curving it in. Because this front shape is where those two pieces that we've already done are going to meet there, but this back shape is where the entirety of kind of the spine of the helmet is going to be attaching to. So it has a bit of a peculiar shape to it. So you see how I've done right there? Just like that. Slight dome here, way more flat up there in the front, and it's got this gentle arch leading right on up. That's what we want, just like that. Okay, now you see right here on this helmet, these little fronts, these sections here, they're all down. So step it down an eighth, step it down an eighth, step it down an eighth, all the way back. We're going to attach all of these right now. So, grab this front one here. Both these pieces are, I believe, the same exact size, so it does not matter which one you grab. We have this one here. Again, we're going to attach this right in there, right an eighth of an inch down from the lip of that there. So put your glue on the smaller piece that's going to be attaching right on the edge, right here. And we'll go corner to corner first. So hit that edge there, make sure this corner over here lines up, and then press and hold that shape in place. Just like that. And again, bend in a little bit there. That way we make contact with that full seam. Hold it. Let's grab one of these smoother pieces and let's just blend that glue right into there. Boom. All right, that sucker is done. Okay. Next little piece here, again, eighth of an inch down. So you're just going to, again, go to both sides here, find where it needs to hit, attach it in. So put the glue on this piece here. Right on the edge. There, like that. Find our edge first. Find the other edge. And then press in and hold. Boom, there it is. Just like that. Press in and hold. Grab the shape. Here we are. And then last but certainly not least, we're grabbing this back shape here. Same thing again. Walk it down that eighth of an inch. These are all going to be the same width. Walk it down, press and cramp it on in there. So we'll do glue on this here. Same edge. Boom, just like that. And go to the corner. Find your other corner. And then force the rest of that shape right on into being. Come on, baby. Work with me. Here we are. All right, again, press and hold that in there. Get that shape to really hold, if you can see what I'm doing here. Smoothing that little glue that is bubbling up inside there all the way along here. Perfect. Just like that. Off my table. Okay. At this point, again, I would go back inside here and I would hot glue all these, but because of this video, we're going for time constraints, I'm not going to do that. But just know, you ought to. Okay, so this piece here is going to end up looking more like that when it's all finally attached. Okay, so for this bad boy here, we're going to have a little bit going on here. There is another piece which looks like this here. Now this piece I have trimmed on the upper right here as well as the back. And this piece here, if you ever see a dot dash dot dash dot dash on a piece of your template, that means the fold is going up. If you see dot 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 dot, it means the fold is going down. This was dot dash. So what I did was I made a V cut along there. It's about 1/4 of an inch wide of a cut. So I drew my line, 1/8 of an inch pass, 1/8 of an inch pass, so I can fold it up on both sides. Now, with the reverse of this here, I have had to edge cut every single side of this. So all 4 sides have gotten an edge cut. And that is so that it marries itself really well right with this piece here. That being said, this piece here is going to need to be attached to the front of this here first before we can attach this piece in. So what you will want to do is take a little piece here, and it has kind of a slope down on both sides. If it is sloping down, that means that this is the side that's going up. The more flat section of it is going on the bottom. So we've already got our 2 little pieces there already trench cut out. So I'm gonna hit these both at once. We'll do a little bead of glue here, like that. A little bead of glue here like this. And then fold them on up and hold them. And while we hold them here, we are going to smooth that glue into place. Get a good bond going there. And that should be just about good. Excellent. All right, cool. So there's that front piece here. Now this is going to go right up against this shape here. Just so you know, for the entirety of this little shape that we've just heated up and folded over, you're gonna want to edge trim this edge, that edge, and then all the way along here, all the way on the back. Leave the inside alone, edge trim there, edge trim all the way on this side here, edge trim the front and side. You can do it right now if you just kind of take it, hold it down, do your edge cut. The entirety of the inside though, you're not gonna wanna do, save for this very front section here. Just these 2 little itty bitty spots to accommodate this shape here. So what I do is I take it, hold it where I know it's gonna be, and I will take my pen and I will just mark right where that place is so I know how far down I've gotta go. So I know it's going to be right here. And it should just be real quick, just a real quick little piece here. So we're just going to trim it. Here we are. And then trim this one. There we are. Okay. So now that can accommodate this shape that's going to fit, boom, just like that inside here. So remember, I mark on an arrow mine which direction I know it needs to face up. So my arrow is pointing up. That's the top there. So we're going to put these 2 pieces right together like that. So a little bit of glue right on this edge. Like that. And when you put this together, flip it out. First, go corner to corner and hold it like this. Do not bend it in place yet because we want this seam to look like one solid piece. Smooth that glue in first. Let that whole thing dry. Let that entire thing dry right there. We're just going to wait a few seconds. And then when we bend it down, you see that seam doesn't pop because we've just blended that whole thing together. Same thing on this side. So again, putting glue right on this edge here, just like that. Turn the piece up, corner to corner. Punch it right in, grab your smoother piece, and blend that glue right down that seam. Just boom, 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 boom. And blam, there it is. Look at that. Took 5 seconds. Just like it says, 5 second super glue. Okay. So there's our front shape here. Now what we're going to do is we're going to attach the front piece then the back piece, and then we're going to press the rest of this all the way inside here. But doing the front piece and the back piece first and foremost means that if we, it kind of saves the hassle, because if we were to put this piece here first and then try to walk the shape on down, we may end up ending with this overhang on the back, which we don't want. So we do front, back, and then force the shape into place. That way we make sure we've used all of our foam and we don't have to make unnecessary cuts at the very end. So, same thing, this has already been edge cut. That's already edge cut. So we're gonna put this inside here, press it in, and then squish it down. And then this here is going to run about 1/8 of an inch the entire way below the lip of this. So it gives kind of a gentle set in. So we'll put glue on here, right on the edge, exactly on that little corner edge you got right there. Blammo, take this sucker in here, and corner in, round that shape around, corner in over here, boom. Just like that. Hold it in place. And let's smooth that glue in. Oh no, I knocked my bottle over. There we go. Just like that. And that's going to make a gorgeous seam for the front of your helmet there. That's going to look beautiful. And let's see how this looks. Oh, baby, yes. Somebody stop me. Just like that. Super easy. Okay, now for the back. As I said, this is going to be 1/8 of an inch set down and in there. Okay. One thing I should have mentioned to you before, which I did not, is those little wing pieces here, they should be marked on your helmet here, but they may not be. So, for the time being, we are going to take these here and we're going to figure out on our helmet where we want these to go. So, you want this little angular piece to go up a little ways. So we're going to go about 1/2 inch off the bottom there, and we're just going to mark on this piece here where it's supposed to go. So we'll mark here, just so we know where it is. Then I'm going to line it up on the other side here. And there we go. Because these little pieces are going to be really cool because they'll give an extra level of depth to the shape. So right now, to cut those out, you're going to want an X-Acto knife. This will be the best way you can go about this because you can get right down into that shape. So super easy. Press it down. It's already going to hold the shape because we've already heat treated it, so it'll try and balloon back out to that shape. Just press it down. You'll be fine. Press it down, go to the corner, press in, and just pull back. X-Acto blades are incredibly sharp, so you should be able to get this in one pass. Same with this edge, press down, pull back and in. Same with this edge here, press down and pull back in. Pull that piece out. There we are. Same on this side. Go right to the corner, press down, pull out, boom. Press down and pull it on out. And then same on this side here. Blammo. There we go. Okay. Pull it out of there. Just throw these pieces off to the side here, because we don't need them anymore. Okay, so as I said, this piece is going to go about 1/8 of an inch down inside there. So we'll do the back end first. So put it on the smaller of the pieces. So when I say smaller of the pieces, what I mean is the piece that has the smaller surface area. It would suck if you had a piece that was about as wide as your pinky that was going to be attaching to something about as wide as my hand, and you put glue all over this part here. Only had to put that down. So put it on the smaller piece first. So right here on this edge. Right there. And go corner first. So corner, eyeball the other corner, and press in. That is right. Actually, that's more of a 1/16 of an inch, but if you can get 1/8 of an inch down, do that. And again, while it's holding, if you had to use a table to do so, then do it. Press and hold in there. Get your smoother piece inside there and smooth that glue in. So there we are. Press in and blam, there it is. There we go. Okay, now the rest of the shape. Let's fill this sucker in. So where we bent that there is just about the same bend that we have right here for the front. So we're just going to press up, find where that shape is. So if you have to pull this piece forward a little bit, then do so. If you want that curve really extreme, press this in forward, okay? If you don't want it as extreme, then pull it back. I like it more pronounced, so I'm gonna press up here, Okay, when I find right where I want it. So say I'm going to want it, let's see. I'm gonna want it right there. Right here is where I'm gonna want it to hold. What I'm gonna do right now from this point on is I'm going to mark across the piece here. So I'm going to pull here, mark a line, so I know I'm going right there. See how it's off about 1/8 of an inch there? I'm gonna do the same thing on this side. Press it over. Make sure I've got a similar look on this piece here. So I'm gonna hold this one right in place, push this up there, about the same height on both sides. We'll draw a line. There we go. Just like that. Okay, so now this whole front piece, 1/8 of an inch down, that entire side. So we're gonna put the glue on this piece here, pull that line back to the line, and then slam it in there. So glue. Pull this back. And boom, there we are. Just like that. Excellent. Here we go. And same thing on the other side. Just pressing that glue into place and then smoothing her in. So glue on this edge, right like that. There we are. Pull this over. 1/8 of an inch down on the whole thing. Press and hold. It takes about 3 seconds for the hold to go, and it takes a little bit longer than that for the glue to finally all completely dry. But 3 seconds should be enough time for you to be able to get inside here with a smoother piece and blend that seam really well. Look at that beautiful little seam there. We're making it waterproof, and that piece is done. Okay, so there's our front. You can see the dip already there. So now I want this back piece tucked in because I want this here to match the curve of this here. So I'm going to pull this up, find where it needs to be, and again, we're going to mark it with a pen. So I want it to follow this extreme of a curve. So I'm going to pull it up to where it needs to be there, find my 1/8 of an inch, okay, and I am going to mark this sucker. We're going to mark this, again, same thing. Mark a line over so you know where it needs to go. Perfect. Pull this up on this side here. And, okay. All right, here we go. Same thing again. We're going to put the glue on this piece all the way down. Actually, you know what? Let's do it on this side here. Just be, mark where you're going to have to stop it, so you know. So go 1/8 of an inch down on this piece here, run a little bead of glue, just like that. Find your line, so our line is right there, and then press in and, oh, come on, press in and hold, I said. There we go. Oh, it's magic. There we go. So press in, hold. Smooth that glue in, just like that. Boom, there we are. All right, same thing on this side now. So I know it's going right here. Glue, 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 glue. Here we are. 1/8 of an inch down. Press in and hold. Like that, right there. See what I'm doing here? Press and hold for a second. And then smooth that glue all the way down in that piece. All right, nice. Okay, it's starting to come together already. So we're just gonna now walk the rest of the shape on down. But because we have these weird little corner sections here now, these little steps and steps, what I'm gonna say to do is push down so that this step, because it's kind of rounded, push down to the top of that little step there is with the top of this step here, and you've got kind of a slat in and a slat in and a slat in. Looks really cool. So we're gonna press down with the front first here. We're just gonna concern ourselves with this front one here. We are gonna try and fit this down a whole 1/8 of an inch. With the next one, we're gonna make sure that slat hits and then that slat hits there. So we'll put it on this piece here, that little edge there, just like that. Pull it down and an 1/8 of an inch pass. So right about like that. You see it there? Press it in. Give it a nice squeeze. Let that glue set. And boom. Now you can do this build with contact cement if you like, but contact cement is going to take forever. Okay? Just so you're aware. You've got to put it on both pieces and then wait 15 minutes and then stick them together. There are some guys that love building with contact cement. I do not have that kind of patience. So, Loctite is my mistress. Same thing on this side here. 1/8 of an inch down. Blammo. There it is. Press it on in and smash the little sucker in there. There we go. There we go. Beautiful. Okay. Now, as I said before, press this down till that little edge right there makes connection with the top here. So I'm gonna pull this out a little ways like that, pop it out, glue on this edge, and then I'm gonna press it down till it lands right where I want it. Okay. There we go. Right to the top edge. And it has a really cool look when you do it like that. Now that you can see, I don't know if you can see it, but it's got this cool step inside there now. And that is really cool when you go back and add any kind of shadowing to this or any kind of black wash or a dirt wash. It adds a really, really cool look, especially with chrome dusting on there. You get those deep, shadowy, pitted areas. It looks awesome. Now, if you're tall like me, 6 foot, almost 6'3", nobody's really gonna notice because they're not gonna be seeing the top of your head. But if you're a short little Spartan, they may take notice. Who knows? Maybe somebody will point out that one spot on your suit of armor and go, dang, you beat that one up well. So, bear that in mind. Same thing on this side. Press it down, hit that corner. Boom, bam, there it is. Pressing in and holding. Sliding this. There we go. Merge that glue. Now, no joke, when this top is finished, this is about 1/3 of the helmet already completed. Now, I know it is a time-consuming process, but it is a complex build. It is one of the most complex pieces of this entire build, which is why I saved it for the end. Okay, now, the back here, this is not going to fight you too much. Pretty much, you can sink that whole thing in right at about an 1/8 of an inch down below that edge there. So, there's enough glue on this whole thing already to hold it right where you need it to be. So we're just going to pull it out, press it in, give it the old countdown, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, go. Smooth that glue in. Here we are. That side is done. Same on this side. Pull it up, run that glue down inside there. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, there we go. And feed it in. There it is. Boom, 1/8 of an inch down. Looks good. And 3, 2, 1, boom. Spread that glue out. Perfect. All right. There is the entire top middle section of our helmet. Now this here is going to further curve in like that. So it's going to look even better dummy shape, but that is the shape you want right there. That's what we're going for. All right. Next step of this process, we're going to attach these two pieces, okay? So we already did them before. That curve there follows this curve here. So now this entire helmet is about to tighten itself right on back inside here. So what I'm going to say you're going to want to do is go right to the front with this, okay? That's already been edge trimmed as we showed before, and this whole piece has been edge trimmed. So these are going to go together real nice. So we're going to corner to corner, hit that edge there, hit that edge first, okay? This section here and this section here are going to go edge to edge. This section here, though, remember, it's recessed, so you're going to set that under the lip of the helmet. So please do not forget that. We're going to do this section first, that section second, this third. Okay, so glue on the smaller of the two surface areas. So right on that edge there. And boom, there it is. Take this here, go right to that very front corner and fold it in. Oh, it's perfect. Boom. And you see how I've got it winged out to the side like this here? We want that. Wing it out to the side like that. If you got to tip it down a little ways, do that. Let the goose set for a second, and then smooth it in. There we go, there we go, there we go, and oh, beautiful, beautiful little edge. Actually, needs just a tiny bit more glue right here and right there. So I'm going to tip it up a little ways further. Get that edge super sealed in there. Pretty much blew this entire smoother little piece that I've got here out, but that's totally fine. More concerned with a beautiful edge. Nice, look at that edge there. Oh, it's gorgeous. Okay, same on the back now. This is where you're going to press this whole thing into shape. So what I'm going to say to do is do about 2 inches and then do the rest of it, just so you get that little curve accounted for there. Okay, now we can put it on this edge here, about 2 inches worth. Right there. You're going to manhandle this foam now. Really get in there. So edge to edge the stick, and then walk that shape into place. There you go, just like that. There, you see that? Just like that there. Let it hold for a second, smooth that in. Booyah, there it is. Okay, walk it the rest of the way down. We've already got that back edge tagged in there, so let's just hit this edge here, and we're almost good to go. So right on here. And boom. There it is. Pressing in, pressing in, pressing. See how I'm kind of pulling out to the side there? Because I want that edge to be really super solidly contacted. So there it is. Marry those edges. Really press. If you got to use a table to hold it, press down to the table. Get that hold in there. Fan that glue out. See, isn't that prettier than hot glue right there? Look at that. Dang, gosh. It's good stuff, isn't it? Love it. All right, now for this intersection here, you can see how the helmet's already curved. We're just gonna press in and find where we want that curve to follow. So I want it to follow right there, just like that. So I'm gonna press and hold. I kind of hold it up like this for a second. I'm going to fill glue all along there and then just smooth it in. I'm going to press it and hold it right where I want it to be, and then just fill the gap. So please, mind the gap. And again, you do not need a lot of glue, so don't go nuts with this glue right here because you don't want it to take forever to dry. But fill that trench, though, adequately enough that you feel it's going to hold both edges together, and then smooth it down and in there. Really press it in. There we go, just like that. And now what you're left with is this beautiful, beautiful overhang. You get a lot of great natural shadows inside there. You come back through with your black wash or your chrome wash or your dirt wash. Look at that. Gosh, isn't that sexy right there? Tell me that's not sexy. Do that. Okay, now we did this on one side. Same thing on the other side. We're going to do that exact same thing. So again, front, back, middle. I'm going to do this real quick now because I've already showed you once. So bear with me for just a minute here. And again, guys, my name is Eric Rollon, aka Angelegend. Cosplay is my game. I love doing this. I love God, my wife, I love cosplay, zombies, and Halo. So if you love any one of those things, please smash that like button and throw me a comment down in the section below there. I'm also I'm also a full-time voice actor, so if you guys start seeing more and more voice acting posts on this channel, please don't get freaked out. That is just me trying to shop my wares around town. So expect to see a whole bunch more of that. Alright, smoothing glue in again. Just reiterating here. Right up on the edge there. Also, if you guys are working on your own suits of armor, I really do want to see what you guys are working on. So please, if you are following along with me, or if you finish a suit of armor, I would love to see it. So if you find my Facebook fan page in the link below this video, please go there and send me your photos. I will post them on my fan page there, give you a shout out on the channel, make it known that there is another Spartan joining the ranks. So please, 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 please do so. It is always super encouraging to me when I get to hear a fan tell me that they've made a suit of armor based off of what I did. It lifts my spirits on those gloomy days and lets me know that I'm doing something worthwhile that people appreciate. So please, again, do that. And I know I mentioned it already before, but if you have not seen the video for the Spartan knife giveaway, please go check that out. It is still open. It will be open till April 7th. That is a Friday. And that is when I will be announcing the winners of the Spartan combat knives that I'm giving away. I'm doing 2 of them. They are laser cut. It's one solid piece of 3/16 inch acrylic that has been cut on a flatbed laser. And then I put 2 16th inch pieces on the handle and etched those in on the same laser to give it some nice detail. Did all the custom painting myself. They do not come with sheaths though. So you're going to have to make your own sheath, and then I want you to post a photo up on my Facebook and show me what the sheath looks like that you made for it, because I can't get away with doing all the work for you. So you gotta meet me halfway on that. But again, that video is up. It'll say open. When it's finally closed, I will put it on there closed. But for the time being, please go. What you got to do to enter is you need to subscribe to the channel, obviously, like, and if you feel so inclined, share the video. But thirdly, and most importantly, is you got to go into the comment section of that video, and you need to tell me what your favorite weapon from Halo Warzone is. Okay, that's Halo 5, Halo Warzone, whether it's Firefight or just Halo Warzone or Warzone Assault, whether it is the closed fist or the open hand, whether it's the answer, whether it is the needler, whether it's the saw, whatever your favorite weapon is, tell me what your favorite weapon is, and you are entered for a chance to win. Okay, there's our helmet, top, almost completely done with the top part here. I have a couple little things left to do. These little pieces that we cut out, we're going to recess those even further. So I want them to go 1/8 of an inch down past this piece here. So we're going to tuck them in. Do like I did before. You're going to tuck them in right where you want them. So about like that. Put glue inside there, pinch it together, smooth that glue in. Okay, does not have to be nothing crazy. Just 1/8 of an inch down. And this, again, it adds really, really cool, dramatic shadows to your shape. It looks awesome. When the light catches it, especially for those special photo op moments where you're knuckle bumping with fans or you're teabagging like your life depended on it. The details matter. You can also find actually a C2E2 review video inside my videos on this page here, and you'll find me and my buddy Reese hamming it up with Deadpool, and the details matter. So same thing on this side here. I'm just going to pull this out of your view for a second so I can get this set here, because you know what you're doing at this point. This is nothing new. This is nothing strange. It's just riding a bike at this point. And hey, we learned today, if this is your first time building, we learned today what a trench cut or a V-cut is and what a trim cut or an edge cut is. So pat yourselves on the back. You are now one step closer to being an EVA Foam champion. Or if you're Spanish, el campeador. Alright. And there we are. Those set gently inside there. Look at that. Oh my goodness. This thing looks so good. Alright, another piece blown. Alright. Here we go. Last 3 pieces we got to do. Okay, this side piece here is going to be going on this top here. All right, now if you'll notice here, I have trimmed this entire thing. So it's kind of tough to trim, but you've got to edge trim this entire thing, all the edges of it. It may look a little gnarly like it does right there. Does not matter because that's going on the inside. And you got to watch out for is this dip down. That dip down there is actually going to go on the bottom side. So that little angled piece there is going to be like this here. Okay, so if you have to mark it with an arrow, what side goes up, do so. I make a little arrow pointing. There it is. Now this is going to wrap all the way around. So this will literally go from the very front of this piece right there, that little piece there, all the way around to the back, right into here. It's going to go all the way. So real simple. We're going to set this here. And let's just fit this bad boy into place. Again, this is going to be one we'll attach to the very front, the very back, and then walk that shape into place. That way you don't end up with unaccounted for slack at the very end of it. So press it in there, let it hold for a second, and it is already holding. Perfect. There we go. Beautiful little front seam there. Perfect. And we'll hit, while we're here, we're going to hit that front edge right there as well. So, pull this out, tag that edge right there, and up and over. There we go. You know, let's just do them both while we're at it. We'll do this front piece here as well. Save us some time. For anybody who this is your first time trying to build a suit of Spartan armor, my recommendation to you is to build in pairs. So for the biceps, for the shoulders, for your forearms, for your legs, your calves, your shoes, you're going to have pairs. It is way easier to build in pairs instead of doing one arm, one leg, one calf, one shoe. Just build in pairs. It is way easier. That muscle memory will be there. You'll know, oh shoot, yeah, I made that cut there, or oh, I made that curve there. If it's still fresh in your mind, it's way easier to grab a hold of. Instead of doing it one day, doing something different, and then coming back to it another day. Just bear that in mind. Save yourself the hassle. And if you're wondering on total time constraint, how long it will take you to actually build this suit of armor, I'm going to say rule of thumb for working with EVA Foam is give yourself at least 3 weeks longer than you think you will need. Just rule of thumb, give yourself 3 weeks longer. But you can probably build this entire suit of armor and get it all done. If you're just working casually on it, say putting in 4 hours a day, 3 days a week, you might get this whole thing done in 2 months. So bear that in mind. Now, I mean, don't quote me on that. You may have a little bit of a longer time depending on if you run into issues with sizing, because I ran into a few sizing issues where I built a few pieces that were either too small or too big. That does happen. You just kind of have to play with it, find the right size that works with you. But if you are putting in the time and you are doing your printing ahead of time, print off a few pieces on paper first, line those up to your body and see if they actually match the length of your joints or the length of your extremities, and find out if they're actually going to work for you ahead of time before you cut them all out of foam and blow up 1 or 2 sheets of foam. Then you may save yourself a lot of time in the long run. If you find me on my Facebook page and you ask me what my sizes are, I will be more than happy to forward you what sizes I use specifically for my body. Now, if you're of the same size and shape that I am, the sizes that I use should work just right for you. It should be just fine. If you're a little bigger or a little smaller, you may have to adjust a few pieces. I know there is a formula out there for figuring out how to get the appropriate size for your Pepakura files, or in this case, this would be Evakura. But I do not know the formula. I believe there's a video on YouTube, or you can probably find it on Google. If you type in armor sizing formula Pepakura, you should be able to find it on Google real easy. But you may have to dig for it, because I think the video came out a few years back, so it might be a little bit tough to find. But just be aware that sizing is a massive issue. A lot of these files are sized for a 7-foot tall Spartan because they're sized to fit Master Chief. Now, Master Chief, in his suit of Spartan armor, is over 7 feet tall. I'm assuming, unless you're Shaquille O'Neal, or you're Luke Longley, or Tony Kukoc, you're not over 7 feet tall. So, you will need to adjust this suit of armor to fit you. So bear that in mind, please. First time I ever built a suit of armor, I did not know what I was doing, and I built that suit of armor. We're just walking this whole thing down now. I got the back attached, the front attached, we're walking the whole thing down. Okay. Anyway, I digress. First time I built a suit of armor, I did not know what I was doing, and I missed the part about where they said, hey, make sure and size this appropriately because you're not 7 feet tall. And so I built a bicep piece that was big enough to put on my thigh. And that was about 6 hours worth of doing pepakura. Now, if anybody else has done pepakura, they know the agony of my plight because that really, really sucks when you have sized it incorrectly and you've blown a 6 hour span of time working on a single piece because cutting it out to begin with is a pain. If you're like me, you can get through about 11 sheets of cardstock and then your knuckles and your hand feel like they're going to explode. Any more than that, and you're begging for you're about begging for death at that point. So to blow through 6 hours of the building process after you cut it all out, that is a tough pill to swallow. So please don't do like me. Be judicious and be intent with what you're actually going to do. Make sure that you actually have a purpose and you're not just willy-nilly going at pieces. Sit down and think it through first. Give yourself the ability to do that. Otherwise, you are going to waste a lot of time and it will frustrate you, especially if you're doing kind of a speed build. Like the very first suit of EVA Foam Spartan armor that I made, it was a speed build. Now, I was fortunate enough that I had a pepakura build done already, so I ended up freehanding that entire thing, but had I not had a pepakura build already, there was no way that thing was going to come together in 11 days like it did. I just got extremely lucky, so make sure you're always giving yourself ample amount of time, and you are respecting the materials enough to know that some planning is required. And if it's the weekend before Comic-Con, do not attempt this. You will frustrate yourself. You'll be over-caffeinated and dehydrated at 3 in the morning for God knows how many days in a row, just cursing everything, and it's not going to get done in time. So give yourself the ample amount of time. All right. You see what I've just been doing right there? I've just been walking this piece right on around. I got the front attached, the back attached, and we are just merging that glue right on in. So blam, there it is. One side done. Finish this side up, and then we got one more piece. Oh, sorry, we got 3 more pieces to do, and we're all done, but they should go real quick. But I do say, guys, please, let me know what you think of the videos down in the comment section below. I am always eager to hear from you guys, see what you guys think. Love to get your feedback if you're interested in seeing any other builds take place. After this specific suit of Spartan armor, this is the Mark 6 from Halo 4. My next goal is I want to do an entire, from the ground up, top to bottom build of the Mark 6 suit of Spartan armor from Halo 3. So if you're a big Halo 3 fan like I was, I played the crap out of that game. That has been my very favorite suit of Spartan armor ever since. I love that Mark 6. It has such a great look to it. It almost looks like segmented muscle, the way that suit comes together. Kind of this bulldogish, mean look. It just screams strength. Whereas this suit of Spartan armor, the Mark 6 from Halo 4, it has a lot of planar surfaces to it. A lot more geometrics went into designing it. It's not as organic in shape. It's still awesome, but my heart will forever lie with the Mark 6 from Halo 3. So that one is going to be what I'm going to be doing next. Somebody did request that I show how to do the ODST helmet, so I'll probably find a build in between there and go over how to do the ODST helmet for you guys, because Hell jumpers for the win. One love on them. Alright, and almost done with this here. And oh, also guys, again, just be remembering as you do this build here, be reinforcing the back of your piece. Be going back inside there with hot glue and reinforcing every single seam. Not some of the seams, not one or two of the seams, every single seam. Make sure you are reinforcing it. Because nothing sucks worse than when you're at a convention, you're posing for a photo op, and a whole part of your suit just blows open because it heated up, or you torqued it too hard, and it just popped. I had the shoulder section of a suit of Mega Man armor that I did, which I did not reinforce well enough, just explode. And that really, really sucks. I had to fix it in the lobby at the convention I was going to. Okay, so real quick here, this is going to go real fast here. This is the underside piece, which goes inside the bill of the helmet here, like that. This whole thing here, save for the inside, is getting trimmed. So you're going to edge trim this, all that, the front, the sides, all of this. Edge trim every single piece except for the inside there, because that is where our visor will sit. And this goes upside down right into here. And this is already edge trimmed, so we're just going to be fitting it in there. Now this when you're putting this in here, it does not have to look super, super pretty, because it's going to be on the inside of it. So my main concern is get this front piece here done first, get this middle done, and then feed the rest of the shape through there. So we're going to do the front first. And you can kind of tuck it into the lip if you need to, just kind of fit it in there. Might look a little nicer for you. So we'll do this here. A little bit of glue right there. And there we go. Fit that in. That looks good. This will also give you something to grab onto when you're taking the helmet on and off. Sometimes it gets a little ridiculous when you're at a big convention, like if you go to C2E2 or Comic-Con. It gets very, very hot inside those convention halls. So a lot of times you will be walking, holding your helmet at your side because it is so hot. And you may be putting it on, taking it off, putting it on, taking it off for photo ops and such. So this gives you a good place to grab the helmet from. Okay, I'm going to do this front section here. Sorry, I probably just pulled it out of your view there. Apologies. Okay, pull this down and press it on in. There we are. It's going to go real quick. Again, this is Loctite. It's called Loctite for a reason. There we go. Little sides here. Oh, guys, we're almost done. I'm going to guess right now we're probably at an hour and a half. So we're actually making a lot better time than when I did this the first time. The beauty of this channel that at least I'm hoping to convey to you guys is the shortening of time that it takes to do these. Because when I first made these, there's no tutorial for this. There was nobody out there showing you how to do this specifically. So it took me, I think it took me 5 days to make the helmet. And that was probably putting in about 6 hours a night. And that was because I had to sit and look at the helmet, figure out how those pieces were going to come together, and then make it work. So I didn't have the tools that you guys have now with this video, this step-by-step process, walking you through it. So just be aware of that I'm trying to save you as much time as possible in the figuring out process. Okay, so now, as I said, we're just walking the shape all the way around. So this is where you can just walk it all the way around this entirety of the shape here. And just press it in, make sure you get it under that lip there. Again, does not have to be super pretty because it's going to be the underside of the helmet. So we just want it to get in place and stay in place. And that is about it with this bad boy here. I'm going to press it in and I'm literally just walking this foam down and around here. That's it. Nothing crazy to this here. There's a lot of it bubbling up on the side, which is totally fine. So I'm going to smooth it all in anyway. So smooth it all in. There we go. Boom. Walk the rest of the way down. Just put it on this piece here. Put it right on the edge. So glue. down. Bam, there it is. And tuck it in there. You can go right to the edge or right below the edge, whatever you think looks nicer, do it. On this part here, there is really no wrong way to do it. You just want this, you really want the bill there for structure more than anything. That bill is there for structure because you will be resting your visor. When you get your visor cut and you get it set inside there, this is going to rest right up against here, and you will fill this entire inside there with glue for stability. So this is not really aesthetics here. This is more function than anything. Okay. And pressing and pressing and pressing. Look at that. Oh, it's only been a few months since I've been promising this video. So thank you guys so much for bearing with me and sticking with me through all this process. It has been super fun getting to do these build videos for you guys and help you guys out with your Spartan armor. I really do enjoy the comments you guys leave. It lets me know that I'm doing a good job, that at least I'm making this understandable and easy to grab a hold of. And boom, there we are. And press it on in, and press it on in, and press it on in. All the way around. There we go. Just like that. Just like that. All right. Now, again, I do believe this, I'll probably be breaking this whole video down into at least 4 or 5 different videos. So I hope to get these done over the next week to 2 weeks. Just depends if life gets a little lifey on me. Okay, so underside done. You can see right there. That's where we're going to grab it from. Okay, last couple little pieces we have here. That little piece I told you to save, real simple on this one here. You're going to edge trim the bottom of it. So wherever you cut it out, edge trim just that bottom edge there. This little piece here, you're just going to edge trim this, so the bottom of the half round shape there, edge trim just that bottom shape, that's it. For this one though, you're just going to be recessing this into here, about 1/8 of an inch. Or if you want to go halfway into that foam, go halfway into the depth of that foam. So I'm going to pull this out of your view for a second. I'm just going to set it right where I need it to be, put the glue inside there, and then merge her on in. So, okay. I'll show you guys when I place this in here, how it's going to hold. There we go. Pull it out a little ways, tuck the corner, press it in, roll it, and then tuck this corner. Boom, just like that. Let that sucker sit in there. Really get it good and contacted. Gotta be smoother. Smooth all that in. Here we go. Yes. Boom. Okay, awesome. One little unruly spot on me here, trying to run away. I'll take care of that right now. Here we go. Perfect. Okay, now the last little bit of this here is this little half round piece here. You can see how it kind of fits inside there. We are just going to press it right up inside. That's why we trimmed this here. We're going to press this whole thing right up against that shape, and then we're just going to tuck it on both sides of this side and that side there. So put the glue on this piece here, right on the edge. Just like that. Hey babe, can I have you stop this video for me? Oh, and she's got headphones in. Never mind. Alright, JK, LOL. Okay, so press it how I'm doing here. And get that edge if you can. And boom, there we are. Right on the edge. Press it in, hold it. Hold it, don't let it go anywhere. Smooth that in. There are more details that we'll put inside here, but we're going to save that for a later video. For the time being, we're just going to tuck and tuck, And for the back of this piece here, you can tuck it just under the lip of this helmet here. So just under that lip there. Or you can go right to the edge, whatever you feel like doing. No wrong way here on the back. And if anybody is aware, this is actually where Cortana is nestled inside the helmet. Her little data chip slides right into the back here. So fit that in there. Boom, that's good. And then tuck this side over here. We should be good. Let's see, let's see, let's see. And bam, here we are. And you may have to fight with it. I know I've said it before, EVA Foam is going to try and fight you a little bit because it wants to stay one way, but you wanted another. So there we are. There it is, guys. That is the entire top of our helmet. This is about, we're probably about a third of the way through this whole thing already. So that is what you can expect in this here video. If you skipped to the end here, that is it. And then the overall goal you're going to go for is this sucker right here. That is what you're going to end up with by the time you are done with this set of build videos. So again, guys, thank you so much for checking this build video out. Thank you so much for all your positive feedback, for all your awesome comments. Thank you for keeping me on task with asking me, hey, when's that helmet coming? I appreciate those because it helped light a fire under me. But again, guys, hey, happy St. Patty's Day. Eat all the corned beef, eat all the cabbage, have yourself a couple of brews if you're of age. And till next time, Spartans, take care.